Man, what a weekend it has been. I'm back in the office, and of course, you know, I'm about to trigger some more people with AEW, man. I got exclusive news that just broke about an hour ago from sources close to the guys over at WrestleTalk. We're going to talk about it. AEW's 2019 schedule for the entire year, TV deal, when they're likely to be on television, sequel to All In back in Chicago, and AEW coming to the United Kingdom at Royal Albert Hall. Man, we're going to go over all of it, plus Kenny Omega revealing his contract details to the Wrestling Observer and Dave Meltzer, man. You ready to make some people salty about All Elite Wrestling? I think I am, man. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Like I said, it's been a big weekend. I am still recovering from the House of Glory show on Saturday, man. What a fucking show, man. One of the most enjoyable shows I think I've been a part of since I've been with House of Glory for the last 2 years. Recapture the Glory. Sami Callihan and Pentagon Jr. absolutely stole the entire show, man, with a unbelievable tag team effort against LAX for the House of Glory Tag Team Championships. You guys will be seeing that match this week on the YouTube channel. I can't wait to share it with you guys. Unbelievable stuff. It was me and the Solid Monster with my partner Matthew Ryan Shapiro on commentary along with Ben Venuto. Unbelievable stuff, man. We're going to go over all that as soon as the information drops. I can't wait to get that in your guys' hands, man. But that was my weekend, and I'm back in the office now. I was waiting for something to break. I'm like, please let there be something for me to sink my teeth into before we get another fucking Monday Night Raw with Double J and the Elias. But we got a lot of news, man. I'm not going to waste any more of your time. Let's get right into it. I want to start off with the Kenny Omega stuff. Kenny Omega reveals his contract details with All Elite Wrestling, and he shared this with Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer. Now, we all know Kenny Omega officially joined All Elite Wrestling earlier this week after signing a 4-year deal following the briefest free agent period for anybody that I could ever remember after his contract with New Japan ran out at the end of January, on January 31st. Speaking of New Japan Pro Wrestling, Jay White was slotted into all the plans that Kenny Omega was planned for. Jay White just beat Hiroshi Tanahashi for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. Jay White is your new IWGP Heavyweight Champion. So it looked like those rumors were definitely true about Omega being slotted in that role. He went to free agency. He joined All Elite Wrestling. And now Jay White, people are calling him the Diet Kenny Omega. So we'll see what happens with all of that and the plans for Jay White. It looks like Jay White's going to be headlining that Madison Square Garden show. Now, Omega was regarded as the biggest free agent in the business, and he wasted no time making his decision. And as soon as he was available, AEW was at the top of his list. Omega will now join his friends Cody, the Bucks, Jericho in starting up AEW, and he hopes to send the shockwaves through the professional wrestling industry, notably here in the United States. Now, while Omega admitted he received a fantastic offer from WWE, specifics on that are not known at this time, and New Japan tried to keep him as well, the prospect of working for All Elite Wrestling and the options that came along with that deal was exactly what he wanted. Now, Omega went on and stated that the contracts that were offered to him from WWE, AEW, and New Japan, he ranked them in order. It went from AEW, WWE, and then New Japan. And he stated that they didn't really make all that much of an effort to show me that they wanted to keep me. So there looks to be some falling out there with Kenny Omega and New Japan, but I knew that Omega was more than likely going to AEW. The hope and the fantasy of Omega in the WWE obviously would excite anybody that has blood running through their veins. I mean, if not, you're a fucking idiot. But with Kenny Omega and New Japan, there might be a falling out there right now. But with the contract Jericho signed, and he is able to work whenever he wants in New Japan. I'm assuming that Kenny Omega is getting the same type of deal where he could work with New Japan if he wants, if there's plans in place, if they actually want to use him. And they'd be foolish to not want to use Kenny Omega. Now, the fantastic offer, like I mentioned, from WWE, as soon as that news breaks, I'll talk about it here on Off the Script. But he says, now with AEW, I'm signing 4 years. So it's like I'm signing 4 years, and it felt natural, he explained to the Wrestling Observer on Wrestling Observer Live with Meltzer and Alvarez. It's a large contract for me, largest one I've ever signed, but I didn't feel like I was making the wrong choice. It was cool to feel that way. And I respect that, man. When you know something is right in your heart, then you're going to go with it. And that's exactly what he did. He continues on to say, and I quote, with the contract, it leaves me very open for a ton of crossover potential, which is always the most important thing for me because I don't necessarily want to be remembered for what I do in the ring. And you could see Kenny Omega is very big into the video game thing. You know, he is, I believe they're planning a documentary on him. I don't know if it's on HBO, if it's going to be shown here in the States, but they're doing a documentary on him. I know, like I told you, he's big into the video game thing. He's getting flown out to all these different events. He might want to, put his image into several different video games. I don't know. So this opens him up to doing whatever he wants. Maybe he wants to entertain some small TV roles, and he doesn't want to be held down and told, oh, he could do this, you can only do that, you can't do that, being under the WWE umbrella. He wants to be creatively free to do whatever he wants. He wants to expand more so into other aspects of entertainment outside of wrestling because, believe it or not, you might think Kenny Omega is the best in the world at what he does right now, but at 36 years old, 35, 36 years old, how, especially at his style, how long do you think he's going to go at that level? At some point in the next 4 years, you know he's going to want to be toning it down a little bit, and he wants to have a plan B, a plan C, a plan D for life after wrestling, and you can't blame him for that. But still, the prospect of him joining the WWE is going to be there always. People are still going to be talking about it. What if? What if this happens after his time in AEW? But for the next 4 years, we got Kenny in AEW. So the crossover potential, he says there, is very important to him. I want to be able to cross over into all sorts of media, so I'm going to be able to do my thing with esports. There's that video game aspect. And be able to do all sorts of stuff with ESPN. And then the documentary even. These opportunities now, there's no red tape. It's in my contract where I can freely do these things, pursue them, and that to me is great. Now, Omega signing with AEW may seem like he's leaving New Japan behind for good, but that's actually not the case. According to Kenny Omega, part of the benefit of his contract with AEW is the ability to return to New Japan whenever he desires. And I'm sure, unless they're fools, if they want Omega and there's plans for Omega, they, I'm sure, would be happy to have him. That is great. And that actually opens up a potential possibility for a partnership with New Japan and AEW, which I do see happening in the future whenever they are done. New Japan is with Ring of Honor. They have that show at Madison Square Garden that they have to get through. So right now, we really shouldn't be talking about that. But Jericho and Omega open to working with New Japan whenever they want. I have it specifically written in my contract, he says. And this is something I couldn't have done with the WWE. I have it specifically written in my contract that I can go anytime I want and appear for New Japan Pro Wrestling. Omega says he nearly re-signed with New Japan with an option to appear in AEW whenever he wanted, but this ended up being the better deal for his career. Longevity, he's planning long term. The chance to cross over between AEW and New Japan or with any other professional wrestling promotion out there is something Omega says the organization will embrace. Beyond anything else offered to him, Omega sounds like that could have been the determining factor in joining AEW for the next 4 years. He says, and I quote, "What we are is a celebration of professional wrestling." What that means is, I guess, with the CML guys and the AAA guys, or the AAA guys that New Japan hates, or the guys that AAA hates. Well, some of their guys are better than your guys, and that's just the way it is. We're going to use the best that is available to us, and we're going to have a very peaceful, celebratory ring where everyone can show off their craft, show their art, and we're going to have a number of dream matches, or I don't know if you could call them dream matches, but call them matches that you never thought you'd see in a wrestling ring. And I think it's going to make for a more interesting landscape for professional wrestling in 2019 and beyond. Omega doing big things in AEW. He even said he's completely open to AEW working with the WWE. That is not happening as long as Vince McMahon has blood running through his veins. I could see Triple H being the one to be a little bit more open with that, as he has shown you already with his NXT stance and him building NXT as a global brand, that he is opening up to possibly bringing in other promotions. I mean, it was several years ago that Triple H was solely responsible for bringing Jushin Thunder Liger into NXT and having him work a takeover with Tyler Breeze. So Triple H, is a little bit more open to that aspect compared to Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon would never be open to that. And the only way he's going to be able to use a guy like Kenny Omega is if there is a working relationship with AEW, and I just don't see that happening. It would be foolish to even contemplate at this point. Kenny Omega could be key to helping AEW negotiate with other companies. He is an executive vice president, after all. It was said from the beginning that the cleaner could change New Japan Pro Wrestling's mind about working with AEW. Omega might work as a conduit of sorts to open the door for many collaborations down the line, being AEW co-executive vice president, along with Cody and the Young Bucks. This gives him clout to speak on behalf of the company as well. While discussing his goals with AEW on Wrestling Observer Live, Omega said he's open to working with everyone, including WWE. The biggest stumbling block there is that WWE might not be interested. He says, and I quote, "We have an open door to everyone. When I say everyone, I mean everyone. I wouldn't want to put the cart before the horse, but even myself, I'm completely open to working with a place like WWE. Like, there is no evil entity. There is no war. What we are is a celebration of professional wrestling, and that means, guess what? The CMLL guys and the AAA guys, and what I told you, there might be hatred flowing between all these different promotions and certain people in those promotions with New Japan. Well, some of their guys are better than your guys. That's just the way it is, and that's exactly what he said. And he goes on to he goes on to say the dream matches situation, which I just talked about before. AEW might be more apt to work with WWE, but Vince McMahon's company might not be so likely to accept their offer. If a match isn't happening in a WWE ring or somewhere like Evolve, then it's probably not likely to happen. Then again, you never know what could happen in pro wrestling. Omega seems to be open to working with WWE. He had nothing but good things to say about the negotiation process and the fantastic deal that they offered, and he eventually turned down. It isn't likely to be honest, because Vince McMahon wouldn't be willing to give up any portion of creative control to anybody coming in from the outside, coming on in to WWE. Now, I do want to make this one mention. I know for a fact, because I seen the promo. I don't know where it was. It looked like it was in a high school gym or at a meet and greet or a fan interaction Q&A or something along those lines. I know Kenny Omega, maybe like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, he mentioned that one of the things on his pro wrestling bucket list is a match with AJ Styles at WrestleMania on that huge stage. It's never happened before, and he wants that to happen. That's on his bucket list. If there was ever a time for that to happen for Kenny Omega, it would have been in 2019. Because the way things are looking right now with AJ Styles, he lost the WWE Championship to Daniel Bryan. I don't see him winning the WWE Championship back, just based on the fact that Daniel Bryan is so hot in WWE. He may be the best act on the main roster in all of WWE right now with his new hemp title and this new possible stable that he's putting together. AJ Styles has a contract coming up I don't see him getting the WWE Championship back. There is no likely WrestleMania opponent right now for AJ Styles. I know Kenny Omega, said that. And with AJ Styles and Kenny Omega, clearly that's not happening right now. But with AJ Styles at WrestleMania, Kenny Omega would have been the perfect opponent for AJ Styles at WrestleMania. AJ Styles doesn't have an opponent for WrestleMania. The only rumored name that has been brought to everybody's attention was Randy Orton. Now, unless Randy Orton wins the Elimination Chamber and the WWE title, I don't see that happening. Maybe AJ Styles and Randy Orton could be the WWE Championship match at WrestleMania. I've heard rumors that Vince wants to make Randy the guy again on SmackDown Live. And I don't even think that is a possibility with AJ and Orton, because there's a superstar shakeup that's being announced for the Monday Night Raw that takes place on the 15th or 16th, I believe, in April. It's going to be an international superstar shakeup. AJ Styles has been rumored to be moving to Monday Night Raw for years. Vince loves AJ. Vince wants AJ on Raw. So anything to do with the WWE Championship, I don't see AJ having to do anything with that, as I see him moving to Monday Night Raw and being the head of that brand on Monday nights without Roman being there. Even with Seth Rollins possibly winning the Universal Championship from Brock Lesnar. I think Vince is more apt to give that role to AJ than Seth Rollins, as it's been rumored that Vince didn't even want Seth Rollins in the match with Brock Lesnar. He wanted Braun Strowman. So there's a lot of moving parts here with this entire story. If Kenny was to come into the WWE, this would have been the best opportunity for that match to happen. Give me AJ, if I'm coming to the WWE, give me AJ at WrestleMania. Kenny versus AJ at WrestleMania 35. Who knows what would have happened to Kenny after that match? Knowing them, he probably would have been in the mid-card fighting Bobby Lashley on Monday nights. I don't know. But if there was any part of Kenny Omega that wanted that match to happen, the best opportunity for that match to happen would have been this year. Now, with Omega being 35, 36 years old, and he signed a 4-year deal, he's going to be about 40, 41 when he's a free agent again. AJ is how old? 42? And if AJ signs a 5-year deal with the WWE, AJ is going to be close to 50 when this contract's up. And Omega is going to be in his 40s, or just about 40. Do we see it then? Does Kenny Omega, after getting AEW off the ground, if they last 3-4 years, and he is safe to know that in the back of his mind, yeah, these guys are going to be okay without me, does he go explore WWE after the 4 years? It's always going to be a talking point. That fantasy, mentality is always going to be there. What if? It's going to be a what if for the next 4 years with Kenny Omega. But I do believe that with Omega and AJ Styles, this would have been the best year to do it at WrestleMania, and we're going to have to wait a little bit longer. I do, just like CM Punk. I've mentioned this time and time and time again, no matter how many people say no, I do think CM Punk is going to be back in a wrestling ring, whether it's for the WWE or somebody. CM Punk will be wrestling again at some point. And I do believe Omega at least will be in the WWE for a one-off or for a year to get those dream matches out of the way, because this is a guy who loves his craft. This is a guy who wants to do literally everything. I don't think Kenny Omega, even Sting, of all people, made an appearance in WWE and was in the WWE for a few big moments. Survivor Series. He was there at WrestleMania with Triple H. He fought Seth Rollins for the WWE Championship. I do think Kenny Omega is eventually going to be in the WWE before his career is over. That's my take on that. But it's pretty interesting to know that Omega is open to working with WWE. The specifics of his contract allow him to do whatever he wants. AEW is exclusive. He's able to work in New Japan. He's able to do outside projects, video games, esports, documentaries, possible TV roles. He wants to just focus on other aspects of media. It's a great deal. It's an absolutely huge deal for Kenny Omega, and I'm happy for him, and I can't wait to see what he does with AEW. This is the news. This is exclusive. It broke about an hour ago, and you got WrestleTalk to thank. I got this from WrestleTalk.com. Exclusive news here on AEW for the remainder of 2019. AEW's first show, Double or Nothing, Now, I signed up for this motherfucker. I signed up for this thing, and we waited about 45 minutes to get into AllEliteWrestling.com. Just to give you an example of how long it took. I was at the Tom's River NXT show, and it was a main event of Ricochet and Velveteen Dream versus Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. I had the fan rally on my phone. I'm trying to pay attention to the match, and I'm trying to watch the fan rally to see if anything, outlandish is going to happen. And then we get the word and the news on the ticket information. You sign up. You're going to put your email in. You're going to be emailed about the pre-sale. They got close to 15,000 sign-ups for the pre-sale. The MGM Grand Arena, I believe, holds about 17,000 or so, give or take, with the stage and the setup. It's going to be about 15,000 maybe for Double or Nothing. This thing's going to sell out in one day. If we get tickets to this thing, I'd be lucky. Now, it's going to sell out. No question it's going to sell out. Quicker than All In did. And based on the pre-sale, we kind of have a good idea of where that's going. May 25th, MGM Grand Arena. That much we know. The promotion has also previously announced there will be a Jacksonville show. Now, this was announced at the first fan rally in Jacksonville, and that's going to be taking place in July. All proceeds are going towards gun violence and stopping gun violence in the Jacksonville area. Okay, fine. Other than that, we haven't heard any other news on anything. Only rumors of a possible TV deal with a few networks being named. Now, WrestleTalk and the guys over at WrestleTalk, having spoken to a source who is very close to AEW, they are stating and exclusively revealing that the current planned schedule is this. And if you guys are excited about AEW, I think you're going to be a little bit more excited about what's to come. And I know I am. May 25th, we know Double or Nothing. June 2019, unspecified show, probably in the United States. I don't see why not. July, they're having an unnamed show in Jacksonville. And a portion of the proceeds are going to anti-gun crimes and anti-gun crime charities. August 2019, they will be at Royal Albert Hall, London. So for my UK folk over there, get ready. You're going to be elite. We don't have specific dates, just months. September 2019. This is what I'm getting excited about. Now, last year we had All In, Chicago. Had a fantastic fucking time. I've been looking for a reason to go back to Chicago. We got a reason to this year, folks. September 2019, the sequel to All In. It will be called All Out. And a full launch of the brand prior to the TV tapings will begin. Now, they are under the impression, WrestleTalk. Now, this is not confirmed. And this is likely to take place again, they state, at the Sears Center in Chicago. And this is the cherry on top of the cake. October 2019, weekly television will begin. I had an inkling of a feeling, and I made a prediction that when SmackDown Live moves to Fox Sports in October of 2019, that Double or Nothing is going to be the groundwork for everything to follow. They will have TV in October on Tuesday nights to take SmackDown's old spot, and that is fantastic. Now, a lot of people are taking this with a very, very, very small pinch of salt. But with that, I'm excited. It could be October. I would not be surprised if it's towards the end of the year, early 2020. They need to bolster that roster with a few more names. Maybe a few bigger names. I know they got the Jerichos and the Omegas, and they got the Pacs. They got the Elite, right? Marty Scurll's contract's up this year. They'll probably bring him on in. They need a big name. They need a name like Goldberg that was teased in the latest episode of Being the Elite. They need a CM Punk. A name that when you're flipping the channel, the casual viewer who's going to be flipping the channel and coming across this new wrestling promotion, AEW, what is this? Why is Goldberg in the ring? Why is CM Punk in the ring? Why is Chris Jericho there? I know him. That's why the rumors of a Randy Orton are floating around. They want to bring in a WWE guy. What if someone's flipping the channel and they've seen a Dean Ambrose on there? Wasn't this guy in WWE? These people must be a big deal. This company must be a big deal, AEW. You see those names, the casual viewer is going to be more prone to watching. They're going to catch an interest. They're going to come back for the second week. They're going to see names that are familiar to them. You know, Kenny Omega's a big name, but how big is he in the United States outside of the circle that he is in with being the elite? I love Omega. I think he's fantastic, but to the casual guy, you know, they want to see that notable name. Oh shit, what the fuck is he doing there? You know, and then on top of that, they'll follow everybody else that they don't know. They'd catch an interest in the programming, and then boom, you got a fan. This is fantastic. Now, I know a TV deal is done. They were in Atlanta at the Turner Broadcasting home base. I know that a TV deal is done. It's either TNT, TBS, or both. Gotta be. I have a gut feeling on that. TNT or TBS. TNT, obviously the old home of WCW Nitro. Cody has referenced that WCW was great. He loved WCW. And I could see them following in the footsteps of, you know, WCW failed. This is what we're doing. This is our roster. This is our resume. All these shows happened. Look at all the sellouts. Look at everything. Look at our list of what we've accumulated up until the TV deal in October. And boom. TNT. You know? Could be TNT. It could be TBS. It could be both. Like I said, basketball playoffs usually happen on TNT, I believe. When they get preempted or possible preemption there for AEW, they can move over to TBS. Tuesday Night Dynamite. It's a big deal, folks. This is a huge deal, and you need to get on board. This is going to be major. Now, they mention, does WrestleTalk, and I'm taking this directly from their website. If we take the above as correct, it looks like AEW are not messing around when it comes to presenting big shows on a regular basis. Arguably, the most exciting time on the above list is the Royal Albert Hall show in London. Obviously, those guys are from that area. So, WWE has famously used that venue over the years. The world-famous building was a launching point for NXT UK last year. The August date is also very interesting in what it says about AEW's relationship with New Japan Pro Wrestling. At Wrestle Kingdom on January 4th, New Japan Pro Wrestling announced an event at the Copper Box Arena in London on August 31st. If AEW is planning to run the same city in the same month, is this a sign of relationships brewing between AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling? I don't know. It's certainly something to think about. And we'll have more on that as the year goes on. It is also, to our understanding, they say, that the names appearing at Double or Nothing in May do not make up the final roster, with several other current unannounced names and signings not scheduled to debut with the promotion until after the Vegas show. Now, they go on to say, in closing, we do not have any official confirmation on the TV deal, but we are told it is a case of when, not if. Two major television stations have reportedly made firm offers to AEW, with one of those believed to be TNT, the former home of WCW Monday Nitro. If AEW starts TV in October on Tuesday nights on TNT, filling the gap in wrestling fans' schedules left by SmackDown's moved from the USA on Tuesday nights to Fox, then AEW would technically be on a bigger cable station than WWE. While currently number one, if you discount ESPN and news stations on cable, USA will drop below TNT and TBS in rankings without the SmackDown numbers. Ladies and gentlemen, the AEW effect is growing larger by the month. Get with it. It's going to be great. I'll be in Vegas. I'll be hopefully at Double or Nothing. Hopefully the email that I provided them is okay and we have access to pre-sale tickets. Because if you don't get them then, you ain't getting them. They'll probably be worth 4 times the amount. And you're probably going to have to go to StubHub or one of them fucking bullshit sites and pay 4 times the amount just to attend this show. But this is major news, man. I'm loving everything that AEW is doing right now. I'm excited about it. And I know it triggers people. And I don't know why. I've always found, and I had discussions with people at the House of Glory show, man. I don't know why I get all the hate for AEW. I've always admired something new and fresh that starts from the ground up, like a stage one almost. This is stage one. Everything is being built fresh on a fresh slate. You know how exciting that is? I can't even imagine how exciting it is for them. It's exciting for us that everything is brand new. Roster being formed. No champions crown. How are they going to crown the new champions? What the tag team division's going to look like? What the heavyweight division's going to look like? What the women's division's going to look like? Everything's fresh. I don't know why people aren't excited about this, just like I am. People, you're clickbaiting AEW, you're trying to get a job, or trying to do this, you're trying to do that. Why wouldn't you be excited? Give me a reason why we shouldn't be excited. What is exciting you about WWE right now, going into the Elimination Chamber? We got fucking Jeff Jarrett on TV during the WrestleMania season. I just read this morning that the Elimination Chamber plans are being 100% completely rewritten. Because they don't know what the fuck they want to do. They don't know what they want to do. Meanwhile, the AEW guys, they got a long-term vision. Get excited. Get excited. It's only going to get better from here. I'm loving everything that they're doing, man. I'm getting out of here. That is the exclusive news right here today for AEW. Anything else, I will let you guys know on All Elite Wrestling, man. I'm looking at that September 2019 date. My people in Chicago, man, get ready. Get ready. As long as you're not serving me some fucking weird-ass hot dog and a slice of deep dish pizza, man. Let's go to the Ballast Point Brewery and have a fucking JD Club. Just invade the Ballast Point Brewery, man. That's what I'm going to do. Can't wait to see you guys again. If this is true, hopefully all this stuff is revealed sooner rather than later, man. Going to be exciting stuff. And Vegas and Chicago this year for All Elite, sign me up, man. Thank you so much. I'm getting out of here. Follow me on social media, man. JD from NY206 on Twitter and on Instagram. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for all notifications. You better hit that fucking subscribe button, man. If you don't, you're going to put bad karma in the air, man. We might see Double J again on Monday Night Raw. We don't want that. So make sure you put some positive vibes in the air and hit that subscribe button, please. If you guys want to support on Patreon as well, patreon.com/JD from NY206. I am getting out of here, guys. Thank you so very much. Hit that thumbs up, and I'll see you tonight for Monday Night Bore. I'll talk to you guys later.